YouTube, I'm Kishan, and in this video we are going to create this awesome NFT marketplace template using React and style components. Before proceeding further, please like this video and subscribe to the channel as this helps me grow further. So let me give you a demo of it. This is the navbar, and this design of navbar is created with React and style components only. We have this hover animation in the navbar. Then this is the home section. Then this is the client section. Then we have this create and sell your NFTs section. Then we have this why should you choose our website section. Then we have this NFT marketplace section, and we have beautiful 3D animation here. Then we have this subscribe section, and at the end we have footer. Then we have this scroll to top section. Also, this template is also responsive. Let me show you this in the mobile mode. So this is the mobile mode. You can see that the navbar layout is changed here, and we have this responsive navbar here. You can see that most of the layout is changed in the mobile mode. Okay, so that's it. Without wasting any further time, let's get started. So now let's set up our React application. I will open a VS Code and a new terminal. I will write npx create React app at latest and the name of our React application, which is NFT website, NFT marketplace. This process may take time as it downloads some dependencies and set up our application. So React application has been successfully set up. Now let's move on to NFT marketplace directory and add more packages, which are style components and React icons. So I'll write styled components and React-icons. While this is being installed, let's remove the clutter code from the source directory. We don't need this app.css, app.test.js, logo.svg, this file. Yeah, we'll delete these files. Delete. Now inside the index.js, we'll remove this report web vitals import and the function call from down here. Inside app.js, we'll remove all of this code and we'll write rfc to create the component. Then inside index.cs, we'll remove this margin of 0, and we will also remove this code. We'll select HTML and give it a scroll behavior of smooth. Then we will also select a star and give it a margin of 0, padding of 0, and box sizing of border box. Let's move this to the top of the index.css. That's done. Now let's start our application by yarn start. Okay, our application has been started. Now, yeah, I think the setup is complete. I'll also add the assets here. So I have added the assets folder here. You can grab this folder from the GitHub repository given in the video's description. So yeah, now let's create our home component. So now let's create a new directory inside the source directory, which is components. inside components, we'll create two components, home.jsx and navbar.jsx. Navbar.jsx. Let's create those components. Import the navbar inside the home component, navbar, and we'll import the home component inside the app component, home. That's it. Let's check. Yeah, our navbar is here. So we are gonna have this home component, and inside the home component we have at the top our navbar and this design. So let's do that. So inside the home component first, we'll import styled from style components, and we'll create a section is equals to style.section, and we'll replace this with section. And now we are gonna give this some basic styles. So first we'll give it a margin of 0 and 5 rem. Then we'll give it background color of 232835. Yeah. And after that we'll also give it a border radius of 1 rem. Okay, this is here. Let's give it a height, and this should be 0.5, not 0.5. Yeah, height, 100 viewport height. Yeah, this is perfect. Now let's head over to navbar.jsx and do our changes there. So I'll move on to navbar.jsx. Let's import this style from here. Copy, paste, const nav is equals to style.nav, replacing this div with nav. Inside the nav, we'll first grab our logo, import logo from assets, logo.png, and inside this nav we are gonna have a brand. Inside the brand I'm gonna have place the logo. After the brand we have toggle div. Will not write anything inside this as of now. Then we will have links div. Inside the links we'll have ul. Inside the ul we have li and a. A would have home. Let's leave this as hash only, and copy this 3 times, 2, 3, 4, and we'll replace this with marketplace sellers, and this one would be create. So after this div we are gonna have an button with text as contact. Let's do one thing. We'll create a new component, button.jsx rfc. We'll paste the styled, copy the style from here, copy, paste, const button is equals to styled dot button, and we'll replace this with btn. This would be the text, and let's grab the text done. Now let's use that here. Button text as contact. That's it. Let's check it out. Yeah, everything is here. Now we have to style this, so let's do that. Let me shrink this. First we have display of flex. After that we'll justify content as space between. Then we'll align items as center. Then we'll also give it a margin of 0 and 2 rem. We'll select the toggle and give it a display of none as of now. Whenever there is responsive mode, we'll switch it to block. None. Then links, height 4 rem, display of flex, justify content of center, align items of center, and a background color of white. We are styling this. Let me shrink this more. Yeah. After the background color, we'll give it a clip path of polygon. Inside the polygon we'll give 0 0, then 100% and 0, then 80% and 0, not 0. I like to give it 100% and 20% and 100%. Yeah, the shape is here. Now let's give it a padding of 2.5 rem and 8 rem respectively. That's it. Now let's select the UL, give it a display of flex, list style type of none, gap of 3 rem. Let's select the li, a color would be #002 and 3 zeros. Then text decoration of none, transition of 0.4 seconds is in out, and whenever we hover over this we want the color to be 2D69FT. That's it. Let's test it. Yes, this is looking good. It's perfect. Now all that is left is to style this button. So that should be done inside from the button.jsx. So let's do it there. Button.jsx. This file, and inside here I think I should replace this with div. This should be div, and we are gonna have an button here. Button. Yeah. Now let's give it a class name and template screen blue. I'll explain this code in a second. Wait for me to complete this. Blue would be a prop and default value would be false. That's it. So we are going to use the button component for all the buttons in the template. So we have a button here which is transparent, then we have a button here that is blue, and down here we also have blue button. So what we'll do is we'll just give it a prop of blue. If it is blue, then we'll apply the color as blue. So now inside this div, I'll select the button, give it a border radius border radius of 4 rem. Then we'll give it a padding of 0.8 rem and 2 rem, 0.8 rem and 2 rem, border of none, color of white, font size of 1.1 rem, cursor of pointer. If it is not having a blue class, then we'll give it a background color of transparent and a border of 1 pixel solid white. That's it. It's looking great. And now whenever we have a blue button, then we'll give it a background color of hash 2D69FD. That's it. So yeah, I think our navbar is completed and styled. Now we have to have our home section here, so let's do that. So now let's head over to home.jsx and we'll have our markup now. So first we'll have a div with a class name of ellipse. This is for styling purpose only. Then we have container div. Inside that we have a div with a class name of content. Inside that we will have h1. Let's copy the text from here, explore digital. Yeah, the image is not here. Let's import that. Import hero from assets, hero.png. Copy this, paste this, and we'll have hero text, and in here goes our span tag, span, which would hold the image. This would be hero text. This would be hero text as well. Let's see that if it is working. Can't resolve hero text. Okay, we need to correct the spelling. This is hero text. Yeah, the image is here. Then after that, h1 we have the p tag. Inside the p tag we'll copy this lorem ipsum and paste it. Then after this p tag we have a div with class name of buttons. Inside the button we'll import our button component, button, and this would be blue and the text would be explore now. After that we'll use the button component again. Here goes text as create NFT. That's it. And after this div we have our data div. Inside that we'll have data tab, h2 40k and h5 as artwork. I am gonna copy this data tab and paste it 2 times. Now we have 12k here and auction. This would be 20k. Artist, and after all of this div we have an image div. Inside goes our image. This would be hero. Let's check it out. Yeah, everything is here. Now let's style this. I'll shrink this, shrink it more, and I'll first remove this height 100 viewport height. Then I'm gonna style this further. So now I'll give it a position of relative. Then I will give it an overflow of hidden. After that I will give it a margin bottom of 5 rem. Then I will select the ellipse, give it the height of 3 rem, width of 30 rem. Then I will give it a background color of hash, sorry, it's here, background color. This would be hash AE54C27D. That's it. This is our ellipse. Now let's give it an opacity. Opacity of 0.5 would be enough. Then let's give it a border radius of 100%. And let's give it a filter of 2000 pixels. Filter of blur 2000 pixels. It's not visible. We'll give it a position of absolute. Then we would give it a bottom of -30% and a left of -10%. We'll give it a Z index of 1. That should be here. It is not here. Why is that? Position absolute. Filter over. Let's remove the position absolute. This too. It is here. So we have given it a height of 3 rem. We need to give it a height of 30 rem. That's a circle. Filter. Absolute. I think the color is not same. AE54C27D. Yeah, color is perfect. Okay, we will leave this for now. Let's give it a display of none and check it. Anything is, yeah, we have that effect here. You can see that. We'll just comment this out. We have a color shadow here. That's it, perfect. We just wanted that. Now after this ellipse, we'll select the container. We'll give it a padding of 2 rem. Then we will give it a margin of 0 and 2 rem. We'll also give it a display of flex. We'll select the content. Okay, I think we have messed up here. So this div of image goes above this, and yeah, it's working now. Now let's style this further. Content, we'll give it a Z index of 10. Then we'll give it a display of flex direction of column. Then we'll give it a gap of 2 rem. We'll give it a margin top of, I think 5 rem would be enough. Then we have padding right of 2 rem. Yeah, let's select H1, give it a color of white. Font size of 5 rem. Then let's select the P give it a color of hash a6 a6 a6, that is here. Now after the p we would have the buttons div. Let's just give it a display of flex, then give it a gap of 2rem. Let's select the data and give it a display of flex, gap of 5rem. Select the data tab, display of flex, flex direction of column, gap of 1rem. Select the h2, give it a color of white, font size of 2rem. Then we will select the h5, give it a text align of center, give it a color of a6 a6 a6, and after this we'll select the image height 40rem. That's it. So that's all, and our home component is styled. Now we'll create this client section. So let's do that. Head over to VS Code, maximize this. We'll create a new component, clients.jsx, and inside this we'll create the component RFC. Let's import this inside the app.js, home, clients, hit enter, not enter, hit save, head over to home, and we will copy the styled and then image import, copy not app.js, clients.jsx, paste, and this would be client1, copy, paste, 2, 3, 4 and 5. That's it. Now we'll create an array of clients and give this image to them, clients 2, clients 3, clients 4 and client 5. That's it. Let's create section is equals to styled dot section, replacing this with section, and inside here we'll just use a simple map method on the clients array. Clients.map will get the client and the index will return a div with class name of client and key as index. Now we'll have the image here, source would be client, this should also be client. That's it. Let's check it out. We have the images here. Now let's style this. So this is very simple. We'll just give it a display of flex, then we'll give it a justify content of space evenly, then we'll give it align items of center, we'll give it a margin of 0 and 2rem, margin bottom of 5rem. That's it. So our client section is also styled. Now we will be having the services section. So let's do that. So now let's create create and sell component. So I have already created the component and imported all the assets and created the data array. You can grab this from the GitHub link given in the description, or you can just copy this. Now let's import this in app.js as well. Alright, create and sell. Now inside the create and sell component, what we will do is, inside this section, first we will have the title. Inside title we have h2. Here we'll write create and sell your NFTs. After that we will have a container. Inside the container, first we'll have the ellipse. After the ellipse, let's do one thing, we don't need the ellipse. I'll write the content. Let me check, do we have an ellipse here? No, we do not have any ellipse here, so let's skip that. Inside the content, we'll use our data dot map. I'll destructure image, description, title, then we need button text, and that's it. And we also need the index, and we'll return create and sell div with a key of index. Now inside this we'll have our image first. Inside the image we'll use the image tag. Source would be the image, this would be create and sell. After that we'll have an h3, there goes our title, and after that we will have a p tag which will contain our description, and after the description we'll use the button component, and the text would be button text, and blue would be, if the index is 1 then we need the blue. So that's it. Image is not defined, description, title, button text. Okay, we need to add a curly brace more here. Think that's it. That should do. Yeah, it's working now. So we have our buttons here. Let's style this. Let me shrink this, close the explorer bar, shrink it more, and at the end let's write our styles here, and margin 0.6 rem, then margin bottom would be 5 rem, then we'll select the title, text align center, then we'll select h2, give it a font size of 3 rem, then we should also give it a margin bottom of 4 rem, then we'll select the container, give it a background color of hash 232835, and we'll also give it a padding of 5 rem. Then let's give it a border radius of 1 rem. After that let's give it a position of relative, overflow of hidden overflow hidden. So after this, overflow of hidden, I don't think we need overflow of hidden and position relative because we are not having the ellipse here. Then let's select the content, give it a display of flex and a gap of 3 rem. Let's select create and cell, give it a background color of hash ff 34. Okay, I missed it. Background color. Now let's give it a padding of, I think, 2 rem. Yeah, padding of 2 rem. Then let's give it a display of flex direction of column, then gap of 1 rem, also border radius of 1 rem. After the border radius, let's select the image, give it a background color. The background color would be hash 2d69 fd. Then give it a display of flex, then justify content center, align item center, not align content, we need align items of center, then padding of 1 rem, and after that we'll give them width of max content, so we get a square, and we'll give it a border radius of 2 rem to create it a circle. That's it. It is looking great. Now let's select the image and give it a height of 2 rem to have a circle. Yeah, these all are circles now. And yes, I think this is complete. Now we still need to style these. So after the image, we'll select the H3 and give it a color of white. Let's select P, color of C8, C4, CF. This should be hexadecimal. Then margin bottom would be 1 rem. That's it. Yeah, this is looking great. So our create and sell your NFT section is also completed. Next is why should you choose our website section. Let's do that. So now let's create a new component, which is choose.jsx. I'll write RFC to create the component. Let's import that into app.js as well. Choose, head over to choose again. First we'll go to create and sell, import all of these, not app.js, create and sell. Now this should be choose, and we'll create a section style component. Section is equals to styled dot section, and we will replace this with section. Now inside this, first our image goes here, image src, and choose, save it. After the image we have our content. Inside the content, first we'll have h2. Let's copy the content from here, paste it. After h2 we will have the p for description, copy that as well. Let's have the button. After this, button, and the text would be read more, and it is a blue button. So yeah, that's it. Our markup is done. Let's style this. Control B. First we'll give it a display of flex, then we'll give it a justify content of center. Let me shrink this more. Justify content of center. After that we'll also give it a flex direction of column, then gap of 3 rem, sorry, not flex direction column, align items of center, my bad. Then we will also give it a margin of 0 and 9 rem. After the margin, we'll give it a margin bottom of 5 rem. That's it. Then we'll select the content, give it a display of flex, justify content of center, flex direction of column, gap of 3 rem, h2 of, we'll give it h2 font size of 4 rem. Then we'll select P, give it a color of hash 7 B7 E86, and we'll give it a line height of 2 rem. That's it. It's great, it's looking perfect, and our choosers component is completed. Now we have this NFT Marketplace component. Let's do that. So now I have already created this marketplace component, and I have imported this React icons. Then I have imported the images that we need. Then I have created this marketplace data array, which is just this image and a name. That's it. Then we have this array of marketplace types, which have the types. That's it. Now let's import that into app.js. We'll write marketplace, and let's head over to marketplace and write our content here inside the marketplace. So first we'll have our title. Inside the title, first we'll have h2, which will contain NFT Marketplace. After the h2, we'll have a p tag. For the p tag, let's copy the content from here, copy paste. That's it. So our title is complete. Now let's have marketplace types, and we'll just use marketplace type dot, not marketplace type, yeah, marketplace type dot map. We'll have the image and a name, sorry, not image and name, we have the text and index, text index. Then inside this goes our return statement, which would have the button, and button would have text as text and key as index, and we just need the first button blue, so we'll compare the index. If it is 0, then the button would be blue. Let's see. The buttons are not here, I don't know why. Marketplace, yeah, buttons are here. I think we need to style them, but the blue button should be visible. Okay, we'll do that afterwards. After the div, we'll have marketplaces, and we'll map marketplaces dot data.map. Inside that we'll have the image and the name. Will return marketplace, which would have an image first. Inside that we'll have image tag. This would be image marketplace. That's it. After that div we'll have and name div, h4 name. After the h4 we'll have bs 3 dots. After that div we'll have h6 with class name as username, which would have a static string of Google Cushion shape, that is my name, and Instagram ID. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. Then we'll have price container, h5 dot class name is price, and this would be static again, 5.5 Ethereum. That's it. Then we'll have the Ethereum logo. Yeah, our markup is complete. Now let's style this. Let me shrink this again. If you are still watching this video, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Flex direction, column, gap of 5 rem, a margin of 0 and 6 rem, 0 for top and bottom and 6 for left and right. Then we'll give it a margin bottom of 5 rem. After that we'll select the title. Let's give it a display of flex and a flex direction of column. After that we'll give it align items of center. Then we'll also give it a gap of 3 rem. We'll also give it justify content of center, justify content center. Now let's select the h2, give it a font size of 3 rem. Let's select the p tag, give it a color of hexadecimal 7b7 e86. That's done. Now let's select the marketplace types, give it a display of flex. Then we'll give it a justify content of center, gap of 2 rem, and we'll select the button which is not blue, and we'll give it a color of black and border color of hash 7b7 e86. And why our styles are not being applied, let's give it a display of none. So I'll just remove this display of none because the buttons are here, but I don't know what is the issue here. We gave a color of black, button not blue, color black, 7b7e86. Why is this not applying? Let me refresh the page. Let's inspect this. Okay, so we have class here instead of class name. No, it is, yeah, this should be class only. But why the class of blue is not being applied here? Also color is black, So the text here should be black, color black. I think these buttons don't have a text here. Yes, that's the issue, I think. Where were the buttons? Yeah, here. Text is not index. We have to give it a text. And no, this was correct. The key was correct. Button text is text. Let's remove the key. It's working. Text as text. And what is the text here? Okay, it's not text. Yeah, this is not destructured. Yeah, it is visible now and it is perfect. Let's close the inspector. And after this, let's style this further. The button is correct. After the button, we'll have the marketplaces. Marketplaces, display of grid template columns of repeat 4 1fr, then gap of 2 rem. Let's select the marketplace. I'll just give it a display of none for checking if we have applied the correct class name. Yes, we have. Then we'll give it a box shadow. That would be RGBA 100 100 111 and 0.2. Then 0 pixels, 7 pixels, 29 pixels and 0 pixels. Now let's give it a padding of 0.5 rem. Then we'll give it a border radius of 1 rem. Then we'll give it a width of max content. After that, we'll give it a cursor of pointer and a transition of 0.5 seconds is in out. Now whenever we hover over this, we'll give it a different box shadow. This would be more deeper. Box shadow RGBA 0 0 0 0.25, 0 pixels, 54 pixels and 55 pixels. I'm gonna copy this, comma paste, comma paste, comma paste, comma paste. Now let's edit these. This is 0 0 0 0.12. This is 17, the fourth one. This is 0 pixels, 0 pixels. This is minus 12 pixels and this is 12 pixels. This should be 30 pixels and this should be 13 pixels. And the second and the fifth one would have 0.12, 0.09, 0 pixels, 0 pixels, 4 pixels and minus 3 pixels. And this should be 6 pixels and the last one should be 5 pixels. That's it. Now let's test it, and yeah, we have this beautiful hover effect now. After this, let's select the image and give it a margin bottom of 1 rem. Let's select the name, display flex, color of hexadecimal 222222, then align items of center, justify content of space between, then we'll give it a padding of 0 and 1 rem. Then we'll select the username, and we'll give it a color of 555555. Then we'll give it a font size of 0.8 rem, padding of 0 and 1 rem. Then we'll give it a margin bottom of 1 not 1 rem, 0.5 rem. Let's select the price container, padding 0.1 rem, display of flex, justify content of space between, and a color of #02204E. That's it. So our marketplace component is also complete and styled. This is perfect. Now what do we have? We have the subscribe section. So let's do that. So now let's create a new component named as subscribe.jsx. Subscribe.jsx. I'll write RFC. Then I will go to app.js, import this here, subscribe, head over to marketplace and copy the styled and imports. We also need an icon and an image. So let's go to subscribe now. I will paste it here, and first, what was the image name? The image name was subscribe. Then the icon that we need was from the BS package, and this is BS fill arrow circle fill, this one. Let's create a style component. Const section is equals to style.section, and replace that sections here. Section. Now inside here we'll have the content h2. Inside the h2 we'll just copy the content from here, copy, paste, and we'll have the p tag, copy, paste, and after that we'll have our input container, input type as text, and placeholder would be enter email. After this input we'll have BS fill arrow down circle fill. Then we'll have an image, subscribe, and after this we have our markup ready. Let's check it out. Yeah, it is here. Now we can do one thing. We'll just go to choose.jsx and we are gonna copy all of this code and head over to subscribe again, paste it here, and this should work. Most of this would work. So these is same, this is same. The image doesn't need to be done anything, and this image would be outside of this div. That's it. So yeah, it's styled. We just have to style this input container now. So let's do that and our job is done. After the P here we'll have the input container. Inside that we'll first have padding of 0 and 5 rem. After that we'll give it a display of flex, then we'll give it a justify content of center. After that we'll give it an align items of center, then we'll give it a width of max content. After that we'll give it a gap of 1 rem, then we'll give it a border of 1 pixel solid hash c4 c4 c4, then we'll give it a border radius which would be 3 rem. Then let's select the input border of none, then ampersand focus, outline of none, then we'll give it a padding of left 2 rem, padding of right to 5 rem, and a font size of 1.3 rem. We'll also give it an SVG of color hash 2D 69FT. Then we'll give it a font size of 3 rem, and this shouldn't be down, this should be right. Right, not 8, right. That's looking great. Now we have an issue here: padding left 2 rem, padding right 5 rem, and font size 1.3 rem. We did miss something here, padding 0.5 rem. Okay, padding should be 0.5 rem, not 0 and 5 rem. That's it. So our subscribe section is also complete and it's looking great. Now we'll do the footer section and scroll to top. So now I have already created this footer component. You can just see this and write it by yourself. It is very easy. So we have imported React style components, some icons, and then the logo. Then we have service links, then we have company links, then we have contact info, and these are the icons and the values. Then we have the social icons. So these are this. Then we have just use the map method to populate it, as simple as that. Then we have this styling, that's very easy. Now I have also created this scroll to top component. So it is here, scroll to top. We have imported style components, then we have used an state of visible and set visible. Whenever this is the state is true, this would be visible, and whenever this is less than 100, the height is less than 100, then this would be false and it would disappear. So we have created an event listener on the window object, and we'll check every time a user scrolls. If the height is less than 100, then we'll set this to visible as true, so it won't be visible, as the visible value would be false. Then we will make it appear and disappear on the basis of this visible property. That's it. And I have also made this component template responsive, so you can see that. I'll switch over to mobile. So I'll just show you all the components for this navbar. The changes which I made is I've imported an use state, then the hamburger menu icon and an MD close icon, then the state, then the HTML query selector. Whenever we click on the HTML, then we'll select the set is now open as false. So whenever we click this and whenever we click out of here, then it will automatically close because of this code. Then we have given the state here is now open 1 or 0. Then inside the toggle we have the MD close and GI hamburger menu. Then we have also given this class name of is now open, of show or not. Then here I have written the media query. It's very simple. That's it. And for the home component, this is the media query. Then we have the clients, not clients, yeah, we have the clients. This is the media query for that. Then we have create and sell. This is the media query for that. Then we have the choose section. This is the media query for that. Then comes the marketplace, the media query for marketplace. Then we would be having the subscribe, the media query for the subscribe section. And at the end we have the footer, and the footer's media query is only of 3 lines. That's it. So if you like this tutorial, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.